Now I'm making the pizza dough for the pizza. It's a little bit wet, so at this time I'm gonna knead it till it's nice, feel tender, and dry enough not to be sticking everywhere. Now I break the dough in two pieces because don't need all the dough that I make for a large pizza, because this stuff really expands, and it really does expand. Yeah, so I'd use like 2 cups of flour, put some, put 2 teaspoons of yeast, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, or baking soda, sorry, and a little sugar, a little salt, a lot of water. I let it sit for about an hour, fermenting. Then it's gonna be real wet after that. And because it's gonna be real wet, I let it sit with a lot of water in it. Well, not, I don't make the water cover it, but I make it like soggy, so the yeast could work better. And now I knead in a little bit of dry flour to the point where it's not sticking everywhere and sticking on everything. You know, now I'm rolling it out to make the dough. So the trick is to try to get the crust as thin as possible, because this stuff really swell. It's okay if you like to eat bread with your pizza to make it thick, but just remember it swells, so don't make it as thick as you want it to be. Make it very more, at least half the size that you want it, the thickness that you want, because it's gonna swell 2, maybe 3, sometimes even 4 times the size. It all depends on how you knead it, the process, the amount of yeast you put, the amount of baking soda you put. Yeah, so I really stretch it out, hang it over, because I decided I'm gonna put some cheese in the edge of the crust. So I hang it over a little so it could wrap it. Yeah, so I lay the cheese around the edge. You could put more cheese in that if you want, but for me, that's good enough. So I fold the edge, then I use the fork to press it down. Then after that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to roll it in between to smooth out the fork and to also get it more, the cheese more tightly squeezed inside, and get a bit more rounding up. Yeah, so I just kind of hold it together with a fork like that, and then I'm gonna roll it, smooth it out, put the sauce, hook it up. So now it's sealed, rolled out. Now it's time to put my special blend sauce. Along with a little of pasta sauce. If you don't like a lot of sauce, you don't have to put that much. And you could add a little more season for that extra kick in the flavor. now it's time to mix it all in.
So you think healers can be powered up the same way? A Chronicom that's willing to die, plus an ion fusion reactor will equal a bomb with a blast radius for miles. If that thing goes off, it could take out entire branches of S.H.I.E.L.D. We need to call in the cavalry. But that's when they call me. But isn't she still an unfeeling killbot? That's exactly what we're facing. Might be exactly what we need.
Yeah, so I'm basically trying to get the sauce blend together properly at this point. As well as spread it out.
This is definitely a sea change. We have rolled out teams across our network, and we went from essentially no televisits to approaching 5,000 visits.
That's a splash.
I can actually share my screen and show the X-rays. On Celebrity Family Feud. This is gonna be one heck of a good time.
So now time for the cheese. And you don't have to put a lot of cheese, because once it melts, it's kind of spread out. That is actually a decent amount of cheese. If you just want a regular pizza.
Because right now, people need coffee that tastes like coffee, and hair that doesn't look like that, and someone who knows where those numbers actually go. They need you, turning your community and the country around. One appointment, one customer, one thank you at a time. And to help you with that reopening, we're giving 1 free month of service when you switch to Spectrum Business. We're here for you, because you're here for all of us. Tonight is 10. Changes to the way police here in San Antonio will handle protests that get out of hand. Days of protests around the country, and here at home, one team tells us how he's joining the movement. Tonight, how police brutality and racial inequality is impacting our youth. What you see here at Mud Creek has water conservation is fed up. Find out what they're doing tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. Because once it melts, it's gonna spread out. That's gonna be a whole lot of cheese in there. I was just gonna make corned beef pizza, but I'm gonna go ahead and chop up some onion. Now I'm not even gonna put no onion. I'm gonna just use the tomato and jalapeno. Now I could cut it up more than this, but I'm gonna just blend the corned beef in it. Just like that. I get in the idea while I go along. Something new. Yep. So that's the corned beef. And now I'm gonna just mix it all together and spread it over the pizza. So I have another blend of special sauce I'm gonna put on this corned beef, just for a little bit of moisture. Don't need it, because the tomato is gonna create a lot of moisture, and it already got the sauce in it, but I'm gonna just try it this way. Alright, so that's it. Nicely blending. So that's how it looked. I use about 3/4 of the mixture of corned beef and onions and tomato. I was gonna put more cheese over it, but nah, I just let it stay like that. It's look beautiful. And now it's time to cook it. Let's try for about 12 minutes first and see what it look like. And if it's not ready to my liking, I go a little longer. So this is the leftover dough. I add a little bit of water to it. So this is off the amount of what it was. Now it's swelled twice as much. So now I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna mix it in with the water a little more, cover it, and keep it in the fridge so it don't keep swelling. Well, more than likely it's gonna keep swelling for a little bit, but the yeast will not be so active in a colder temperature, so it won't swell as much. So this is the pizza after 12 minutes in the oven. I put it at, it's completely done. Yeah, probably a little overdone. Oh yeah, I put it at 425 degrees. And I did it for 13 minutes. Yeah, so the reason why the crust looked that dark is because I had brown sugar to the crust in the flour to help activate the yeast, because yeast and sugar kind of work together in a way to make the flour rise a little more. So it's not cool enough, but as you can see, it's completely soft, and as you could see, the thickness of it compared to what I had rolled it to, it was very thin. So it probably rose, I'd say, about 10 times the size. Yep. So it looks dark as if it's burned, but it's not burned. It's really the brown sugar that I put in the flour mixed with the yeast. As you can see, it's very soft, and like once it cooled a little bit, it's gonna be more completely softer than that. Yeah, so this is my corned beef pizza.